Baby was good. Baby was popping. If you can hear my voice, you are listening to the voice of Jess, popularly known as Jess Finesse, and you are tuned into Jess Finesse Presents. If this is your first time, welcome. We hope that you stay a while. Don't drop that dial. All that stuff they be saying on radio and TV. And this is not your first time. Welcome back to the family. We are doing another family meeting, and this time with another amazing special guest because all my guests are amazing in their own amazing special way. This week is no different. We have somebody very, very powerful in the building. All right. Grammy's next to her name. Money next to her name.
Amen.
Branding next to her name.
Amen.
All the popping songs next to her name. Kah-Lo.
Hey.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Thank you for popping up on me because we don't even know when you are in Nigeria or in another country or in America or in Antarctica. So I'm very happy that we got to, catch you while you was here.
You're welcome.
So, actually, this is random. Before you came here, you were at the INEC office. That's what they told me.
Yes.
Doing what?
To register to vote.
You're making me look so bad because I have not registered like this at my big age.
Oh, Lord. You have to register because, I know we go on Twitter rampages.
Right.
I like to, hit them with the Twitter fingers sometimes, but it's just like, we can't translate it into actual. Sometimes, even if perhaps in the back of your mind there's a tiny, tiny voice that thinks maybe your vote doesn't count, but it's just like, but then what if it did?
You're too loud. You're being too loud.
What about the odds that it did?
Let me just cast myself really quickly. So I've always been someone who is the percentage of us that have that tiny voice in my head that I'm gonna spend 8 hours outside. I'm gonna vote. And they'll be rigging this thing in my face. Like, maybe you put your ballot inside. They're already doing whatever they need to do to make whatever result they want to make. And I've just never been, especially after moving to this country, I was very politically inclined before I moved here. The irony. Like, imagine you living abroad and you're like, oh, we need to fight for better Nigeria. We need to fight for this. And then you move here and it's like, what are you fighting for? They're going to try to kill you anyways. If you fight. It's useless. Okay. But so ironic, right? And this is why I think it's a universe. I think God is talking to me. Like, stop this. We talk about different topics. We gist. I don't like to call it an interview because I don't feel like I'm as black and white as like how interviewers would be on TV and radio. We just gist and learn about each, a lovely guest. Mm-hmm. But we do it over something very important. If you like, take a deep breath all you want. If you like, go and count sheep in your head. I don't know. We do it over a very important meal. All right. And this meal is important for many reasons, Kah-Lo. All right. Some of us are not blown like you. Some of us, our accounts are not fat. Okay. Some of us are not eating publishing money. So, this is near and dear to our hearts. All right.
Okay.
This meal cuts across all economic classes, all social statuses. You could be rich as heck and drink Gary. You could be looking for your next 2K and drink Gary. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then it has variety, baby. You can eat it with anything. So why not bring such a diverse food into the table as we have conversation? If it was a candlelight dinner, won't you be talking with the person that carried you to candlelight dinner? One-on-one intimate conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the same concept, except it's a little bit more light. Okay. Yeah. It's not steak and lobster. It's Gary. Talk to me nice.
I was saying earlier that Gary is a social construct.
Explain why you say it's a social
flavor.
Okay. Haters in the building. Haters in the building.
It is a carrier substance. It's like most swallow. Because it is a swallow. It's to navigate the soup towards your digestive system.
I've never heard of it like that, and it sounds beautiful.
To eat it by itself. You know what I mean? Because it's just like it's supposed to. If there was suya,
it's a channel.
Yeah, it's a channel. It's like it's not a direct link.
So you telling me if I have suya here for you, you'd be open?
I would eat the Gary because you need the suya to kind of like counter the spiciness of the suya.
Kah-Lo, you've drank Gary before, right?
Yes.
When's the last time you drank Gary?
With suya.
When?
2 months ago.
What was the context? What was the situation? What was the setting?
There was suya and my mouth needed calming.
So can't you just imagine suya's here? Just take one for the team.
I'll take a tiny little teaspoon. I'll take like a
See, as long as Gary and Kah-Lo and Gary and entering Kah-Lo's mouth is happening on my podcast, I'm fine. Even if it's 1 spoon. There's people that have just, they literally went like this. They just touch it on their teeth. And I shall know, you shall try the Gary on my podcast.
I will shall try it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
White or yellow?
Oh, for my Gary style, which one is Jebu Gary?
Yellow.
That's the one I would take. That's the best one in the market.
Is it the white?
I was trying to trick her. Jebu Gary's white. I wanted you to do the yellow.
I don't know which one it is.
Okay. Well, why did you guys cast it? She could have drank yellow today.
Why y'all do that though?
Dang. Okay, fine. You gonna drink that white nonsense?
Oh, yellow is the one that gets really like thick.
Doesn't the white one get thick too?
Yeah, but yellow one does
gets
the
thicker?
most. Is like you need to like constantly top
Pour
it up
water.
with water.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Like,
I hear you.
Eventually, I eat in a bar.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
Stop
Yellow
slandering
Gary,
this
yes.
thing. Stop it.
You're
You've been sitting on a yellow chair for yellow Gary.
I love yellow. I was in Yellow House. I was in Topaz in primary school. Yeah,
So
I love
why
yellow.
not?
Because it is, it's social construct.
Voila. Even if you take one spoon, I'm not gonna mind. I'll take it like that. Okay, that's fine.
I will have a little swirl, baby.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
what do you supplement your Gary with that's on this table?
What are those?
Okay. We got the handy dandy milk,
Uh-huh.
sugar,
Uh-huh.
chocolate powder.
The fuck? Is that is that real?
It's very real. It's very real.
People below in their Gary.
I've done it a few times.
Who are they? You are
I
the
am
one?
they. I'm one
Get
of the
out.
days.
Get out.
I would get out, but I own
Jess.
this podcast.
I will take a little swirl of Gary with powdered milk.
Okay,
with
and
sugar.
okay, will you put a piece of granuts since we're doing pieces?
Yeah, sure. We can do that too.
Can you do 2 pieces?
We can put like a little dollop.
Got you. Dollop. It's the dollar for me. Okay, cool. Okay. As someone who shuttles between Lagos and New York, how would you compare the party scenes between the US and Nigeria? Which do you prefer and why?
Jeez. You see, I've told myself numerous times I need to stop with the partying.
Why? You literally are the party. Like,
I know.
They make the
how do you
party
do that?
anthems.
But it's just like nobody thinks about when the party stops being excited to be the party.
we about to get real deep today. You didn't tell me that. Okay, let's go.
You understand?
Let's go.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I actually
It's
100% understand.
And it's like what I like to tell people most of the time. You see those party girls, they're like, woo, on the couch. Once in a while, they go to the bathroom and they cry. You know?
We're about to start talking
Party
about
girls have
existential
feelings too.
crises. Okay, when you started, okay, let's do it like this.
Mhm.
Do you prefer Yankee party scene? I can't even say Yankee party scene because there's different party scenes within the
Yes.
US. Let's say New York party scene versus Lagos's party scene. Which do you prefer?
I don't know if I'm being biased, but I would say Lagos because I know more people here. And like I feel more, but then I feel like in New York, I get more exposed to different communities at the same, because it's just like you would go to a different scene, like, but here I know all the scenes. So
Right.
it's just like I have a good time wherever I go.
Okay.
But sometimes I'm just at parties to watch because I'm just like, wow, these people party like this. It's like interesting to observe. But
Facts.
whereas here I'm actively partying.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've explained which you prefer and why. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, but your music is more, would you say your music is more loved and accepted in the New York party scene, or I guess I can widen the scope, American party scenes versus Lagos party scenes?
Is definitely bigger in the American party scenes.
So it almost
Yeah.
feels like this, like, cognitive, well, I won't say it's cognitive dissonance, but it's like, okay, you love the Lagos party, you prefer Lagos party scene based on your explanation of you know more people, so it's more familiar to you, and then you have your friends that you can party with no matter the vibe of the place. But then your music is loved by the party scene that's just like, yeah, I'm here, people watching, I'm here, this is a new experience for me because maybe I wasn't born and raised here, and then I'm coming to this scene and then I'm experiencing it.
I have existential crises.
Baby, even I'm having secondhand existential crisis for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, not like anybody asked, because this is Kah-Lo's podcast today. I prefer the American. Okay, I prefer. It's so weird because I have to know when to like widen the scope of the American party scene and then make it just New York, because I don't like New York like that, right? But I prefer my American party. Yeah, I don't know. It's too much for me, man. It's too fast. No.
Okay.
I can't say it's too fast because I actually don't mind the fastness of Lagos. When I was living in America, right, and I had to go to New York, I used to dread it because you have to take the bus from the DMV to go to New York, and then you got to go on the train. And the trains will be cold in the winter. The train will be dirty. Yeah. If you don't know the train system, you can easily get lost. Yeah. People there are very like, I won't call them rude, but they're very like, man, just face your front and do what you're doing. But granted, Lagos is like that as well. So I don't know why I like Lagos. I don't know about New York.
I think that's why New York feels like home for me.
Because you already was exposed to a lot of the behaviors in this good old city of Las Giddy.
Like, I spent a lot of time in London. In London, and although like London is like pretty and is very close to like Nigerian, I guess, dynamic, there are people like they mind their business way more than in New York. In New York, people would yell at you as soon as you leave your apartment. They're like, "Hey, yo, ma, you pretty," and I'm like, "Thank you."
But then you're scared, like, okay, don't do anything to me,
but like. For them to yell it from across the street, I know it's true because I see myself in the mirror.
Come on. Right? I need to get... Is he horny? What is he?
But like, in London, no one yells that at you. So I didn't even realize until I spent like a couple of months there that I'm so used to that.
Okay.
Somewhat of an affirmation of like, even if it's just like a girl being like, wow, you're so pretty today.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. She would like compliment... Yeah, she would compliment like your color palette, like... theme situation, and you guys vibe.
Right.
Like New Yorkers are not afraid to vibe with you like that, but in London, everyone like really keeps to themselves.
I've never been in a parties in London before. I don't think so. I can't even confirm or deny. I remember when I went to London, it was. I don't like that place either. I can't lie. Yeah, it's really dreary. Very dreary.
Yeah.
Very like every time I go somewhere, it's like, you're not from here, are you? You're from America, are you?
So I like the chaos of New York because it matches the chaos here.
Of Lagos. Makes sense.
So
Makes sense. Okay, so
people yelling at you.
Okay, so now, like I said, I prefer my American party experiences to my Lagos ones only because in America, like you can dance your life away and no one is judging you. Like,
that too.
You come to Lagos, and I remember when I first moved here and I was going to my first couple of parties and I'll be dancing, people would be like, is she, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Are you drunk? Are you high? Are you proud? Like, are you trying to get attention? Like, ew. And it was so weird because I'm like, bro, there's music playing. Yeah. And the reflex action of when you hear music is to dance. But apparently that's not the reflex in Lagos.
Yeah.
The reflex is if they play certain music, it triggers certain actions. Like if they play Dorime, you know someone is buying 10 bottles. If they play... what is it? Zumba. People are doing, I guess legwork, which is dancing. But if it's like in between music, it's like, oh, you need to form and flex and look a certain type of way, be perceived a certain type of way. It's like, this is a lot.
I don't do that. I think that's where the disconnect is because I'm the one in the center. I'm like mosh pitting.
You're a mosher.
Yeah.
So you're the one commanding people to make mosh pits at your shows?
Not at my shows.
Okay.
I would like to go on record that I have never encouraged
any dangerous behavior that could cause her fans to get harmed. Yes, we say it again.
It says, you are an artist that's been able to monetize your music outside of streaming / performance. How do you feel about older artists selling their catalog?
Because like Justin Timberlake just this week, it's reported they sold it for reportedly like $100 million. And Lil Wayne too, with the Young Money catalog and The Dream.
How much did Lil Wayne?
I think Lil Wayne, The Dream sold 75% of his catalog, like $25 million.
Only?
This was a while ago.
His was a while ago. It was one of the
that's crazy. 75% for $25 million. Someone that wrote Umbrella.
Yeah. I'm surprised because...
So I don't know the terms. Maybe it was just a particular... Because with Justin Timberlake, I know it's his whole like songs he's written, everything. Maybe with The Dream was just like the songs he released as an artist. I don't know.
First of all, no. We're not going to overlook the fact. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're going to do yes or no. You get publishing money?
Yes.
FIFA.
You get sync licensing?
Yeah.
Which one again? This one, they've placed the sync license. Let's even get into the sync license. Your music has been on commercials.
Yes.
Commercials, FIFA.
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Like twice.
4 times.
4 times.
Don't get the number messed up. Come on, are you okay?
Actually, 3 times.
Movies.
I haven't had a movie yet.
Okay.
But she's got mad TV
That's my
shows.
one. Yeah, I really want a movie.
Okay.
But I haven't done that yet.
Only you. Boss. There's this thing saying that do give away, please. Even if it's just one small 5K. So I think it's really interesting to ask you this because first of all, the way I was even introduced to you, you was like, I'm just like, okay, she's from Nigeria. She claims Nigeria. She's making all this music. She bounces between multiple countries. This girl's getting accolades and recognition in the other countries. And then it's kind of like, oh, we're not seeing the same love. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but my perception is that you're not receiving the same love that I feel like I don't want to say Western world, but the Western world is giving you, right? And you're making money past a lot of artists that are in, carrying certain things on their head and doing like this and like, look at this lovely young damsel, and you money is probably bigger than a lot of people's money. You don't gotta comment. It's okay. I'm commenting on your behalf. So I think it's interesting that Kosi decided that we should ask you this question because you are very well versed in monetizing your music beyond streaming and shows, right? Yes. So when you're seeing artists sell the thing that makes them residual and consistent income and they're just selling it in one large lump sum.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's happening? I have a theory, but let me hear yours first.
My theory is
push the mic, baby.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
My theory is that, like, artists, I feel like the bigger the artist you are, the less likely they use it for licensing because they like songs that sound very radio ad ready.
Okay.
And all that. But if you use a Beyonce song for a commercial that's really, really popular, unless it's like the most incredible commercial ever shot, it will be known as the Beyonce song. The commercial that's the Beyonce
song on it.
Yeah.
And Beyonce would overshadow the commercial.
Yeah, because it's really big.
Okay.
So their goal is to advertise. So we got to keep that in mind. That's one.
I need to write this down.
Because the bigger you get, the less likely I think that you get syncs.
So what are they using the big songs for? If it's not...
They play them on the radio.
Okay, so now... Let's use Justin Timberlake as a case study. He sells his whole catalog to... Only God knows. Do you know the company that even bought the catalog?
Yes, give me a second.
Okay, so he sells his whole catalog to this company. Are you telling me that this company is just going to use that whole catalog to just play on radio and get money from radio?
Yeah, they can play, when they play the songs in stores. I took a course right before I started making music professionally because I was just like, I want to get finesse. Anyway.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. No pun intended. So the guy kept saying, he was like, every time the song gets played, someone is getting paid.
Okay.
So he's like, you might be like, haha, my music is being played here, but where is the money? So I think that's what every artist needs to use, even like as a marker, is like if someone sends you, oh, your song is getting played here and you're not getting paid for that.
Go and find out why.
Someone is getting paid for that. Who is it? Except like Nigerian clubs.
Right, I was about to say because are we set up with all these collection?
No, we're not in most of Africa.
Okay,
actually, that's a market. Oh, I should keep my business secrets.
No, baby, what happens if you want to be an artist and we trying to get some trade secrets?
Every time a song is getting, like, I get paid when somebody plays my song at a music festival, especially in Europe.
So those are like performance royalties or public mechanical royalties?
There's neighboring rights, there's mechanical royalties, there's master royalties, there's so many things. There's so many avenues that people could be getting paid for.
Right.
And it's crazy and very interesting also. Because when I first started making music and like Rinse and Repeat first took off and all that, like I would come back and I'd be like, can someone teach me about publishing? And no one knew what I was talking about.
Right.
Whereas now people are like, oh, people have gotten out of deals that they were like, okay, the advance was great, but the terms weren't right.
Facts.
So people know better now. So it's really like cool.
Okay. So you're signed to a major label.
Yes.
Word on the street, Birdie, word to the grapevine, Epic Records.
Yeah.
Can we clap for you?
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. Because that is not beans. That is not beans. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, how was the transition from being a struggle, I gotta make $1 shake. I gotta do this, that, and third, and squeeze and bind and do all this to make my music. How's it been the transition from being an independent artist to now being an artist with major label backing? How's the transition been?
What I got is pros and cons.
Come on, talk to me.
But then also, I think I'm in a pretty privileged position to say, because I would say my professional career kicked off with like the Riton stuff.
Facts.
And I wasn't signed like myself, but like my music was. So even though...
Wait, can you explain that?
So a lot of the stuff I made with him were like singles or like just the one album.
Okay.
I myself was not signed.
You did that intentionally?
Yes and no. I would have liked to be signed at that time, but you know, it just so happened that the one track that I made before I moved back to Lagos was that one song that was stuck in the middle of a DJ mix that then popped off.
Oh,
and
snap.
Then I started having to like leave and like do shows, and then eventually an album came out of it, and then
and a Grammy nomination.
Yeah, and a Grammy nomination.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate.
Yes.
So yeah, it was kind of like when that started coming down, that's when I was like, oh, how am I going to set myself up? You know, because I was doing stuff by myself before, but even at the time, before I met Riton, I wasn't making house music. I was making like SZA, The Weeknd type stuff.
Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
I was making
You were singing in cursive?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like singing like weird like Santa Gold type stuff. And then I made music with Riton, and then he put it over house music. I had no clue, like what I said earlier, that my voice was like doing all this stuff for DJs until I started going to like raves and stuff. And I was like, oh. And then when I started DJing myself, I was like, okay.
You see,
now I understand.
But
I didn't get it. I was just like, I'm just talking over these records. But like, it was cool because I do like Slick Rick and MIA and those type of people. And like, they just tell stories over beats. But like, yeah, the Riton stuff is how... So it's kind of like, yeah, there was the independent musician stage, but then it kind of got overshadowed with the Riton stuff. And then being signed to is a dream because like, okay, so they started playing my songs on MTV, and you know how it goes, like the artist, the song title, the album title, and the label. Yeah. You know, Michael Jackson was also signed to Epic, and like I have a similar screenshot of like Michael Jackson's video being played, and at the bottom and the Thriller, it's like Epic Records, and I have my screenshot. I'm like, oh shit.
Baby, come on. It's a dreams for me.
It's nice, but oh Lord, the major label, I would say part is very tough.
Are there cons that you can say that will not get you in trouble?
Cons are kind of like you're kind of up against like influencers also. Explain. I feel like that's a very common con that every other artist is.
What do you mean up against influencers?
Because, you know, influencers have the, you know, people are drawn to me because I'm me appeal. And as a musician, some people like, you know, like, I feel like when I was trying to become a musician when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'll just release amazing music and that would be enough, you know, and I'll just make cool videos like Janet Jackson or whatever. But now it's like you have to make cool videos. You have to be like a cool personality online. You have to post often so people can get to know you. You have to interact all the time. You have to be like a person that people can see themselves being friends with, which I feel like I am that girl, but it's just like I'm not so good at documenting that. So it's just like constantly.
So is that a con? Because you're good at it. Like you can compete with. That's so crazy because I never actually thought about artists having to compete with influencers, and y'all do because especially when social media is such a huge promotion and marketing tool for artists and like music now. But you're good at that, aren't you?
Yeah, but you have to you have to be consistent with it too. It's like a whole thing. Like being an influencer, like people shit on it like, oh, you're just an
influencer. That is a job.
It is a job. It is a job. Like it's a full-time job. And it's like to think about that and to think about, oh, what do I want the sonic direction of my album to be? And like all that other stuff at the same time. It's
so
like
you have two jobs, being an influencer or being, you know, a personable, high engagement social media personality, and then being an artist.
Yeah, unless you fall into that wonderful pocket. But it's just like,
what is that wonderful pocket?
where like Adele just comes out. She says, I have an album out. She releases a press release, posts a few things on Instagram, does some press tours, performs some shows, and she goes back to
Why do you think that works for someone like Adele and not somebody like majority of our music industry?
Because I feel like Adele makes like, and I think even Harry Styles is someone who is very, very pop, but still falls in that pocket. It's like they make stuff that like sounds it cuts across generations completely, like across every, like, I feel like you can go anywhere and you can ask anybody who Beyonce is and everybody would know.
Okay.
Because her music also is like, that's the sweet spot.
But don't you think, you know why I'm hesitant about using Beyonce in this grouping of people you just were talking about?
Yeah.
It's because when she was younger, she had to be that person that was always out there with Destiny's Child, right? Like they had to do videos, they had to do the performances, they had to do the award shows. As opposed to Adele and Harry Styles, who, like you said, they can come out, they have to drop their album.
Adele even laid like the groundwork.
Yeah.
With like the first thing that she did.
Because even a Nigerian musician, as an example of that, is Asha. Like she comes out with her album, does her press tours, does her show at Echo.
Yep. That I went to, that was freaking awesome.
Does her show, does it the way she wants to do it. No, she's booked for this end of year party. No, she comes out, she does what she needs to do.
That just sound like shade.
She goes back to, no, it's not even shade, because just like,
no, but I know what you mean. Don't mind me.
You have to constantly be out there, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know when the marker is for when you're falling into that pocket. I don't know if you can just start and just be that person right off.
Do you feel like you're in that pocket right now?
Of like being able to do one show and going to bed.
Yeah, like if you're telling me your money's not even from performance and...
Well, I would like to be in that pocket, you know, because I mean, at the end of the day, what makes me love making music is performing music, because I like to see the way it connects to people. So I would like to be the bitch that does a lot of shows.
Thanks.
You know? Okay, let's talk about your recent shift from dance music, a genre you're well established, into pop music. I'm glad you brought it up.
That's a good way to end a podcast. Talk to us, baby.
Well, I used to be like terrified to say this, but now I don't care.
It's a growth for me.
Yeah, it's a growth for me. Thank you. So in dance music is very white male DJ dominated.
As with most industries in this world.
Yeah, but dance music more so.
Okay.
Because it's just like, if you're not a DJ, if you're not like the front-facing people of dance music are the DJs. Okay. If you're not that, it's almost like people are like convinced you don't have a career. Okay. Like I can't count how many people have been like, why don't you just DJ? Why don't you just DJ?
Because of the music you were making.
Yeah, because I was making it and I'm trying to be the front-facing person for my sound.
So you were pioneering in what you were doing. The fact that you were partnered, Riton is a DJ?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had this, well, let's say y'all were a duo. Were y'all a duo? Please correct me. Okay. Anyway, Sha, you were putting out music with this DJ.
Yeah.
But then you were also being in the videos, and you were also branding yourself as an artist that's meant to be front-facing in this genre. Yeah. Is that pioneering?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't say I'm the first to brand myself, but
in that way.
It's really tough to do that in dance music.
Okay.
Because you're always reminded that the music is not yours.
Okay.
If you're a vocalist.
Okay.
And a songwriter.
So now, the fact that it was dominated by icky white men, let me not say icky white men before they silence his name. The fact that it was male dominated, you tell me, I've been in Nigeria too long, I don't know anything. But okay, dominated, white male dominated. What other reasons made you transition into this pop genre? I feel like this is weird.
I mean, because like I said, I started with the Weekend Scissor type stuff.
Yeah.
Like I expressed myself in other ways, but it just so happened the house talking monotone through a whole track.
Right.
But I be singing, I got pipes.
Right. I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, ooh.
So now what were the what was the day you woke up from your bed, brush your teeth, and say, you know what? I'm transitioning. We're doing pop.
I've been trying to. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble. Let's save this.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've always had it. If you listen to even the Riton album, you hear poppy vibes. But it's just like maybe 2 tracks on that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always been in me.
So the events that made you be like, let's switch. You can't say it.
No, because that's always been the girly inside of me.
Okay.
I've always been a pop girly.
So now, if we go and listen to your releases and we go and check on Spotify, the genre is gonna say pop.
I don't know, because the algorithm does what the algorithm wants to do. Yeah.
When you signed to Epic, were you like signing as a pop artist or
you don't sign as a genre? You sign as an artist.
Okay, you sign as an artist, but then don't they have an idea of like, okay, this artist is making this type of music, that's why you want to sign
That's
the
why
person.
they figure out, kind of like Katy Perry had that Dark Horse record the same year she had California Girls.
Facts.
And Dark Horse was being played on hip-hop stations because of Juicy J.
Yep.
And California Girls is like a teen pop record.
Yep.
You can have both as long as it fits in the market of the radio station that's being
So what
pitched to.
market is Epic trying to push you in?
The songs I have out right now, dance, but I have more that fall into different subgenres.
Do you feel like Epic Records is going to support your desires of how you want to flutter and fly and flow in this,
Let's
these
say
genres?
inshallah.
Inshallah, for real, because I don't want to hear no nasty record label story
Inshallah.
around your name, Kah-Lo.
Let's say inshallah.
Our final thing is the song of the week.
Oh, this
So-
is my karaoke song.
You just have to. Okay.
I get so weak in the knee, I can hardly speak.
Are they going to
I lose all
freaking
control.
copyright strike my podcast if you play it?
Oh, because that sounds like the recording.
baby. Kah-Lo. Oh my God.
Hey.
No, but you have to pick a song from an independent artist. Cause I don't want nobody's record label coming strike. Because they're gonna play it after this podcast like fades out.
Weak.
Yes.
I love Helga by Phony People.
Is she signed?
I don't know.
Funny people signed.
Is their first album signed?
I don't know.
That I'm not sure about.
Let's just do Drag Me Out. Because you have work to do.
Okay.
So, remind us again, Kah-Lo, what we have to do to make sure Drag Me Out is played and we don't get copyright struck.
Hit me up.
Hit her up.
All right, no problem.
All right, without further ado, Kah-Lo, you rock. You're the best. Now, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
So, I'm happy I got to
That's my
catch
good
you.
side.
Yeah, girl, all your size is good. What you talking about?
Oh, thank you.
All your size is good. You are freaking awesome, bro. But yeah, we just had an amazing conversation with Kah-Lo. She took 1 spoon of Gary. Please put on record she took 1 spoon of Gary. But without further ado, we are out.
I'm spending all